Hey everyone, so August 6th marks the 75th anniversary of the atomic bombs being dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And so, what I wanted to share with you guys, this is a little 1 minute clip and it shows the ceremony that they did in Hiroshima, as well as the Japanese Prime Minister talking about where he feels like the world needs to go regarding nuclear weapons. And so, I'm going to play the clip and then we'll come back and talk about it.
過去の苦い経験を決して繰り返してはなりません。各国の対話や行動を粘り強く促すことによって核兵器のない世界の実現に向けた国際社会の取り組みをリードしてまいります。
All right. And so, I mean, truly devastating. I actually didn't know how committed Japan was to nuclear disarmament across the world, but it makes a lot of sense in retrospect. And so, actually, a little fun fact about me, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, learning about that was one of the first things that really got me politically engaged. I'm like really anti war, and I think that attacking civilian populations off the table. I really believe that. I know that a lot of people regarding World War II and Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they will make the case that it needed to be done from like a utilitarian aspect, like more people would have died if we hadn't done it. I disagree. I think that we should never bomb entire cities full of civilians, and I think it's very upsetting that that's something that's even on the table for some people. But it is, and so it is very important that we get rid of nuclear weapons. No country on the planet should have nuclear weapons. The devastating impact that they can have, where I mean, just using them, you're going to kill civilians, and it just shouldn't be a thing. No country should have that. And I think that the U.S. I wish the U.S. was leading the way on this because we're the only country to ever use atomic weapons. And it's honestly, I find it incredibly hypocritical whenever the U.S. Gets upset at Iran or North Korea or whatever country for pursuing potentially nuclear weapons when the U.S. is the only country to ever actually use weapons of that magnitude. And we use them on civilian populations. And so, incredibly hypocritical on that aspect. So, and also just little shout out here to Howie Hawkins, the Green Party candidate, because I've only watched one interview with him. He brought up nuclear disarmament in the little interview that I saw. It was just a random interview. So that's something that's on the table for him. I think that if you live in a safe blue state, you should vote for Howie Hawkins. If you live in a state that could even potentially go to Trump, I think you should vote for Joe Biden. So only if you are in the safest blue state in the entire country, you should vote for Howie Hawkins. But if you are, vote for the guy. He's awesome. And also just a little something I want to bring up, just like a little anecdote, I guess. Lula da Silva, the former president of Brazil, he actually pursued basically what eventually became the Iran deal with the leaders of Iran. It was eventually put away with by the U.S. Government because they didn't want Brazil to be have that much have that much power, I guess, on the world scale. But the way that he kind of convinced Iran to agreeing to it, because they did, was that he said, Brazil is not going to pursue a nuclear weapon, and if you guys don't either, it was an agreement. It was like, hey, we're not going to do it, you guys aren't going to do it. And I think that's such a successful way of bargaining. That's such a good way of looking at bargaining. That's how we should look at nuclear weapons across the board. And I really wish the U.S. was leading the way on this. We're not currently. I think that's honestly, it's really not a top issue for most people. But it really should be because these are devastating weapons, and Hiroshima and Nagasaki know that better than anybody. And so I think this is a really, really important issue. I wish more people were talking about it. Anyway, if you guys disagreed with anything I said in this video, or if I got anything wrong, please leave a comment down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.